Hi, welcome to Monterey's Cooking. I'm Cookin Pisto. Today I'm going to show you some very interesting things, folks. I'm going to take the mystery out of oysters. All right, this morning very early I went down to the fish market and I got whatever they had. All right, and they had, and this was not a good day for them, but they had 4 different varieties. Okay, now a lot of people are squeamish about oysters and they think there's just one kind. You know, there's many varieties. Let's take the mystery, okay? Melpeck is a variety of oyster. This is grown in Canada, and these have a very, very distinct taste. This is one type of oyster, okay? Now, this is a different variety. These are called strange bait. Now, our oysters are named after the area where they're farmed, okay? So this oyster is the same as this oyster, only this is being raised in Farm Bay, and this one's being raised in Doe Chef Creek. All right, this is a Blue Point. You all heard of Blue Point oysters? Blue Point oyster means it was raised in Blue Point. That's it. That's the secret. Now, those of you who love oysters, I mean, you really got to love oysters to eat this one. Now, we got this one up in Seattle, and when we cooked this, it was like a meatloaf. This was a big guy. But okay, oysters, opening. Know what you're doing. You have to have an oyster knife. Do not use screwdriver. Do not use bottle openers. Do not use broken knives. Do not use, you're going to end up cutting yourself right here like I have maybe 4 or 5 times over the course of the last few years that I've been working in the kitchen. All right? What will happen is you'll miss and you end up going right into this area. So you can see any people that are just trying to open oysters, they usually have big Band-Aids here. All right. Very easy. What you do, get your oyster, the knife, make sure this isn't broken. You go in, give it a twist, flip it right out on the floor, and you got it. Okay, that's pretty simple. Okay, main thing here, folks, I just wanted to show you there are different varieties of oysters. Each one tastes different. Each one will taste different with the wine also. Chardonnay is a great, great wine to use for oysters. Champagne is also very good. Sparkling wine is very good. Today we're lucky enough to have Mystic Cliffs with us. This is another Monterey County wine, and it is coming from the Gonzales area. And this is a real special Ballotine. I know it's very limited. It's extremely good. Try it. You'll love it. You know, you also could buy oysters in the jars. Always check on the dates. If no one is looking, open it up. Give it a smell. They'll hate you for it, but you can always, it should smell real good. Okay? One of the most famous dishes, oyster stew. Probably the easiest dish to make in the world. Use these, make sure they're fresh, like I said. Contains, and you know, I tried this with low-fat milk, doesn't work. You got to use some milk in it, folks. Real milk, whole milk, and half and half. Now this, I'm making a lot. Okay, nice. Then you put Worcestershire, white pepper, okay, Tabasco. Now they say this is a cure for a hangover. I've never tried it that way, but I can certainly see why. The nice milk in it, and you know, celery, salt, good shot of that, and some wine. Okay. Now this takes a minute to come up to temperature. You want to bring this just to the boiling point. Okay, this may take a minute.
4, 3, 2.
Okay, you see how this is getting just, we do not want this to boil. We want it to get very hot. All the oysters in there, just like that. All the juice and everything, because the juice is what's going to transform this. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Nice chunk of butter. See that, folks? This is medicine, I tell you. This is medicine. I'm going to decorate with a little chopped parsley. Okay, now this is important. You don't want to cook these guys totally. You just want to poach them in this liquid. Did I add the wine? Yes, I did. Need some salt. Need a little bit more wine. Okay, this also would go real nice with the Chardonnay in the morning. No. Okay, you see now this is starting to go. See how nice and plump these are getting? You just poach these. Just poach them. It takes just a minute. You got to watch them real close. They get, what happens is they start cooking, they get real shy, real tight. And we're going to do this. Okay. Look at that. Perfect. I'll tell you, some of that butter. Okay. Piece of bread, you're in heaven. Okay, welcome back. Now, I've done something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that's to do a tomato tasting, okay? And what I've done is gone to grocery stores, went to a couple, and this is one of these I brought in myself from Italy, and I opened them up and I tasted them, and I tasted them very honestly. And I'm happy to say that these tomatoes are all pretty darn close. I mean, so close that it's hard one to call. I mean, I can call maybe on texture maybe, but as far as flavor, they're very similar. That's very good news for the tomato industry. You guys are doing a hell of a job. Keep doing it. I mean, I'm shocked, really. I thought there'd be a big difference. But again, taste them every year, you know, because they do have a tendency to change from year to year, okay, from harvest to harvest. While we're talking about tomatoes, and I've got these open, I thought maybe I'd show you a real quick. This is the one I make at home most often. All right, and this is a quick pasta dish, and it's using the canned tomatoes. You can use fresh. My daughter Kimmy was going out to the fields and picking tomatoes for me the other last Sunday, and we're using the ones vine ripened. Now that's a whole different animal, though. I don't want to get into that. They were just incredible. Okay. Fresh garlic. All right, the oil's hot, and I'm using olive oil, of course. And then this time I'm going to add a little bit of onion. I thought I had cut that. Okay, and we're just going to brown that lightly. Okay, and while that's cooking, let's talk about our wines that we're featuring this segment. Mystic Cliffs is a new release. Now these are going to be released in our area, I understand California, and my restaurants will be featuring them, as will other restaurants. They'll be in finer grocery stores and good wine shops. And I know Dan, the winemaker, is one heck of a winemaker, because this is another fine product coming from Monterey County. So we're going to be tasting these wines with this food. So that's another thing I did today. We made everything work. Okay, which one should I pick? I'll tell you. There it is. Now, big secret. Big secret, all right? 1 can of tomatoes to 1 pound of pasta. That's a rule. Okay? That's a secret rule. Now, you'll always know 1 can, these are 28 ounce, to 1 pound of pasta. That works. Okay, look. You get those in there, you break them down. Now the secret to this sauce, and I'm not adding the basil yet. The secret to this sauce is to get rid of the water. Okay, that can take up to 20 minutes. Now, I put salt. We like it spicy. Whoa, that'll get you. And some pepper. Okay, it can take up to 20 minutes. What you want to do is to evaporate all the water that's in these tomatoes. Okay, this one looks pretty good. Now when it heats up, you're gonna see it's gonna throw some water. I'm gonna put it real high. Okay, this may take a few minutes. Okay, you see this? See how there's no water in there? See, everything's tightened up. Now is when you add your basil, folks. Okay. Carefully chop it. Pasta's done. I'll show you what we're going to do here. This is what I do at home. Okay, you see some of the water? We want some of that water. You stir that. Now, I didn't use a whole pound here, so I used about a half a pound. So, by the looks of my friends here, we should have used the whole pound. Okay, we mix it up in here. Don't over sauce your pasta. Okay, pasta tastes good. You gotta taste the pasta. Okay, that's very important. Americans oversauce the pastas. Okay, put a little bit more, like that. Here's the grated cheese, and today I'm using a Locatelli Romano. Good flavor. Okay, that's another dish for you. When we come back, I'm going to continue. Okay, for the next segment, I want to show, I've been wanting to do this one for a while too. You notice when we eat pasta with fish here, or shellfish or whatever, it's usually big pieces and chunks inside the pasta, right? Okay. But if you go to Italy, what they do is they get, you know, if you get a frutta di mare or it's fruits of the sea, and that could be different fish, shellfish, whatever, it's usually chopped very small. And you know, at first I said, well, you know, I don't know about that. But when you put it together and the pieces are cut very small, the flavors, tremendous difference, tremendous difference. It's like if you ever buy sliced salami and they slice it real thick, it doesn't taste good, right? Lunch meats, cold cuts, it doesn't taste good. When you slice it thin, it tastes better, okay? So I think the same principle. So what I've got is I got some fresh halibut, and I've cut that in small pieces. See, I'm just dicing it. Make sure your knife is real sharp or you'll shred everything up. And when I say small, it's pretty small. Okay. And then I got some lobster tail. We got half of a lobster. We'll cut that into little pieces also. But you know, I've noticed that, and I said, boy, their pasta in Italy tastes so good. Another nice thing about this is you may have a little prep time, but this is pretty quick too. Okay, here's the squid. We got the squid. This is all cooked the same also. We got some shrimp. See, we'll just cut those into little pieces like that. You know, we know what squid is. Monterey's famous. They used to say sardines, but now Monterey's famous for these. The best squid in the world, folks. Okay, some of the heads. See, just dice that up. And I'm going to use about a pound of pasta. So, let's see, what else we got here? I got some nice scallops. Look at that. We'll cut those into little pieces too. You see, as I go here, my pieces are getting bigger and bigger. Restrain yourself, folks. and keep those pieces small. Otherwise, you're going to end up with the American version. And I like to use the shallot, because it definitely has beautiful flavor. It has a garlic. And they're using shallots like crazy in Italy now. So it's okay to use them here. It's okay. I'm going to give it a little onion. All right. Let's get these going. Get your oil hot and your pan hot. And that pan is hot. Now I noticed they put a fair amount of garlic. Now this is going to go so fast. What we'll do this time is we'll put the pasta in now. Nope, I'll take that back. We won't put the pasta in now. Okay, let's cut up some more seafood. All right. You want them hot. Okay, put your garlic. Don't mince the garlic too much, it permeates. I like it chunky. Okay, let's saute that just a little bit. Now, you know when you cook with good wines, it's okay. Don't cook with bad wine. Cook with good wine. The same wine you drink. Very important. Okay, here we go. Now, I could add some shellfish to it too. See what and if you do, all you do is steam them open. These are New Zealand mussels. They're called green lips. Guess why? See, and just cut them into small pieces too. Clams, you do the same thing. Steam the clam, cut them into small pieces. Now I got what, 8, 9 varieties of fish in here? Wow. This is fragrant. When it starts, everything starts to smell good. Then you add the fish. All right. Okay, get the spoon going. Get that heat back up. Salt. We put the wine. Good amount of wine. I'm using Mystic Cliffs. Okay. We put the parsley now. We got to put a piece of butter in there. So you just want the fish to be cooked. You don't want to overcook it. Now we can add the pasta. We're going to take it right from here. See this? Make sure you drain it pretty good though, because there's no stock in here really, just a very little bit. Okay, you get the idea? Look what this is gonna. Now, if this comes out a little dry, you see we're using up all the sauce. It's supposed to be like, it's not supposed to be floating. Now, okay, if it's a little dry, you get a good quality extra virgin olive oil and you coat it. Okay, and maybe a little knob of butter. Oh, one other thing I forgot. We're going to add a little bit of tomato just for the color. That's all, not for the flavor. It's just to give it some color. Now for that extra, you're going to get some fresh parsley. You're going to get some fresh garlic. Okay, this is called parsleyade. This adds flavor, guarantee you. Raw garlic. Gonna hit that hot pasta. Okay, about 4 or 5 cloves. We chop that up. Put that. Now, some lemon zest. Okay, chop that up, and then chop all this together. And chop it fine. The finer you chop it, the more flavor you're gonna have. That you throw in at the last minute. Bingo. Okay, folks. Just like Portofino, only we're in Monterey. This dish would probably cost you $50 in Portofino. Half of that here in Monterey, maybe less. You see? It's an accompaniment. The star is the pasta. I mean, that is about as authentic as I can get. Okay? How's that? That's pretty darn good. You know, when I was given these wines today and asked to match some food with it, I had to taste the wines first. And you know, being Monterey, they have special characteristics, especially the Chardonnays. You know, they have that citrusy, tropical fruit quality to them, and this definitely has it. And you know, this is a Merlot. It has enough cab in it too to give it a little acidity, or the tannins maybe bring it up, because Merlots have a tendency to be a little soft. So you know, it was kind of a little challenge. So I dug deep, and this is what I came out with. I think it works fantastic. We got all the oysters, and I do the oysters only with the lemon, a little Tabasco. I don't put the ketchup. I don't do the horseradish. I don't do the mignonette. And so, you know, it's very plain. It's a good way to taste the oyster. Make sure they're nice and cold, and make sure the wine is nice and cold. Don't do the wine on the cold side. The pasta, we teamed it up. Very nice pasta. A lot of garlic in it. A little extra on the hot pepper with the red. Perfect. Okay. Pasta frutta di mare, again, what just goes very, very well. And the oyster stew goes just perfect with this. And you know, we cut down, usually it calls for heavy cream. We did a little half and half and milk with it, but it's still delicious. This, I tell you, will put hair on your chest. All right. So there you have it. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure to look for these wines, Mystic Cliffs. There's only 500 cases made, very limited. They're going to be in the better restaurants. They'll be in my restaurants. They'll be in good grocery stores. And make sure you look for Mystic Cliffs. Okay, thank you.